Good morning, welcome to the breakdown. My name is Eugene Osei. I'm here with my wingman Leo Stanley, and we are bringing to you the breakdown today. Today we are going on the way to Parliament about the controversial. The Mark talked about the 24-hour economy bill. Yesterday there were heated arguments in Parliament. I watched the entire episode, but today what we've done is that we've isolated two voices for you. One on the majority side, Honorable Isaac Adongo, a member of the Finance Committee of Parliament, and also on the Bank of Ghana board. Then we've also highlighted the voice of Kojo Ponkroma, who is a member of the NPP Economic Committee, and also very strong voice when it comes to the economy. Former Minister for Information, former Minister for Works and Housing, and we're playing their sounds for you. But before that, Leo and I will build a certain background for you. You know that in the lead up to the 2024 election, the NDC promised a 24-hour economy, and Leo, they're basically saying that one job, 3 shifts, 3 people, and 133. And they also said that some private sector-led people will be incentivized. The time of use, electricity tariffs, tax regime, incentives from the government to be able to stimulate their growth.
Encourage people.
So they can expand and encourage people to come upstream and also employ lots of people. So this was the launch, and together President Mahama launched the 24-hour economy, the Accelerated Export Development Council, where he himself chairs the council, basically trying to say that Ghana should produce more so that we export, bring in foreign exchange, stimulate our economy and all that, because Ghana is an import-driven economy where we produce a lot of stuff, but we are not able to send it out there so that we add value and all that. But yesterday, this is our Parliament itself on its website summarize everything that happened in Parliament. So Leo, is this Thursday, 5th February
2026. So members of Parliament on both sides of the House have debated on the 24-hour economy authority bill 2025 after the motion was moved by the Attorney General Honorable Dominic Anyini. Presenting the report of the Committee on the Constitution and Legal Affairs, the chairman of the committee, Honorable Shaibu Bahama, disclosed that the object of the bill is to establish a 24-hour economy authority to ensure the integrated, sustainable transformation and national systems for economic production, supply chain, marketing, and labor power development to provide for related matters.
So pause there for me. Yes. So according to the thinking of the NDC government, they are bringing what they call the 24-hour economic bill to do largely 4 things. One, they are bringing it to do what? To establish an authority. So we have something like the DVLA, something like the Ghana Maritime Authority, something like the Ghana Shippers Authority. You have a new authority called a 24-hour economy authority. And what will be the mandate of the authority? One, to ensure integrated sustainable transformation of national systems for economic production, to ensure the supply chain, to ensure the marketing side, and to also what? Bring labor power development and provide for related matters. So that is the responsibility of the authority. What is the stance of the majority?
It says majority caucus were in favor to establish this authority to have a central control over the implementation of the policy. The minority side, however, they debated against the establishment of this authority, describing it as unnecessary and duplication of existing institutions.
Okay, so pause there for me. So because the minority say it is not necessary, the majority certainly will say it's necessary. Based on that, let's listen to the key voice of the NPP on this matter, Kojo Ponkroma.
That a 24-hour economy authority is totally unnecessary for the purposes of delivering a 24-hour economy. And we say this with great respect. We don't mean this in a disrespectful way. Mr. Speaker, 6 of the biggest cities that operate 24-hour economies, New York, Tokyo, London, Bangkok, Dubai, Berlin, none of them started off with a 24-hour economy authority. In fact, it's only London that has a commission years after the fact to attempt to support the functioning of a 24-hour economy.
Yes, and it's right. When Khan became the mayor of London, he established what they call the Nighttime Commission to ensure that the activities of nightlife in the UK have a certain harmonization under a certain authority.
And this was after the 24-hour economy.
Yes, I mean, the London has always had that since the Second World War. But that is the minority voice, Kojo Ponkroma MP of Francis Arabi. Now let's go all the way to Bolga and speak to Honorable Isaac Adongo on the side of the majority.
It's a law
I don't know whether somebody wants us to legislate in the law 133. I mean, I'm just struggling to understand how a lawyer will be expecting that we should put in the law that a 24-hour economy should be a 133. Certainly that beats my imagination. There are different variants of 24-hour operations. One can decide to do 122, one can decide to do 133, but that doesn't mean that it is still not a 24-hour economy. So, at the end of the day, please, I listen to you in silence. Why are you jittery? Why are you jittery? We have just started and you are already struggling. Just keep quiet and listen. Mr. Speaker, we were in this country where we were already building schools, but we still set up a law, an authority that was set up as the GET Fund.
So basically, the chief argument they are making is that, yes, there needs to be a certain agency to do coordination of the activity. Balio, on the screen, when there were talkability about the 24-hour economy proposal, when the NDC was in opposition, President John Dramani Mahama and the team brought together a document, a 14-page document, basically anchoring and trying to explain what they mean by the 24-hour economy. The question 4 was, what kind of support will be given to these businesses? And the businesses included what? Agro-processing companies, 13 companies, pharmaceutical companies, construction, extractive sector, sanitation, leisure, digital startups, and all that. What were some of the incentives that they listed?
So they are going to provide an atmosphere of improved security and public safety. And they say this would include a well-regulated and monitored private security architecture to, facilitate round-the-clock activities. The point 2 says they are going to provide cheaper and reliable electricity for participating businesses based on time of use tariff system. This time of use tariff system is an electricity pricing structure where the price of electricity varies based on the time of the day and the day of the week power was consumed.
So basically what they are saying that, you have kilowatts per cent. So basically they are saying that if you use electricity, say from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., maybe you are paying, say, 5 cedis for an hour. When you sign on to the 24-hour economy, you pay, say, 3 cedis because you produce more, or you can even take your production to the night, employ more people and all that, basically.
Yeah, it raises some questions, but let's go. It says the companies that sign the tax incentives, companies or businesses that subscribe to the 24-hour economy policy will be given tax incentives to reduce the cost of their operations and enhance their competitiveness as well.
So basically, this is what the incentive regime was talking about. Balio, yesterday when I was listening to the debate, it reminded me of our conversation on the Women Development Bank. This government, by tomorrow, will be 13 months in office. We are going through another bureaucratic process to establish an authority that will have a CEO, deputy CEO, give them cars, give them
an office complex,
everything that probably will be in Accra and all that. Just like the argument for the Women Development Bank, my thinking is that we already have vehicles through which we've established in various MMDAs, the 61 of them. Why don't we go through this model and establishing a certain authority all again, creating another layer of bureaucracy? For example, the Women Development Bank, 13 months, the women have received nothing. We are planning establishing a bank in Accra. When will the branches get to them in the district? You already have public banks. NIB is there. ADB is there. Why can't we create dedicated desks? Get NSS personnel, increase their salary from the 750 to say 1,000. Let them take the feedback let them fill the forms for the women. Then the bank disperse the money. We have the LEAP system. That was my thinking. I don't know what, but I'm thinking that Mr. Gusitano, who was appointed advisor to the 24 can be the national coordinator. There's just a desk at the presidency. Then he does all these things.
So all these agencies will work through the coordinator.
Exactly, because the agencies are talking about, when you look at the incentives, for example, the first one we talk about, provide an atmosphere of improved security and public safety. That is the Ghana police. Okay. Instead of providing cheap and reliable power, that's ECG. The next one talks about tax incentives. That's between the Ministry of Trade and also the GRA. The GRA is under the Finance Ministry. Just this committee can be able to coordinate all these affairs. The chief directors are there. Do we really need to bring new CEOs, new V8, new staff, new offices? I don't get it. I feel that it's too bureaucratic. I feel that the government do not have a time. Because let's not forget, the top 3 policies of this regime, 24-hour economy, Women Development Bank, and oral. And already you can see that there seems to be some laxity when it comes to all these
dragging.
There seems to be dragging. So for me, just like the argument for the women development, go through ADB. They already have presence. Go through CBG. Go through BNI or NIB, right? NIB, the bank. Go through Prudential Bank. Create dedicated. For example, let me give you a clear example. When you go to KNSC to pay school fees, what do they use? They use the existing bank. There's just an interface. You go there, you key in your student's number, you pay the school fee. Then KNSC give them a certain fraction. That is what the banks are doing. You can just go through the banks. You can even use the Momo platforms and get a kid to fill the forms for the mother so that they get it. Because you 13 months, Women Development Bank has not come to fruition. Ora, we are yet to see a prosecution. 24-hour economy, we are not debating and arguing about the bill. For me, it's bureaucratic. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, and one question that I really want to see answered is, when they sign people onto the policy, how are they going to, look at the payment regime of workers? Is government going to roll out, a bill in Parliament to also look all the Employment Act and all of those
existing
things?
labor laws will suffice. For example, the minimum wage will suffice.
So if I'm taking 5 cedis a day during the daytime and then I go to a night shift production, what are the incentives that will encourage me to do night, for instance? Because at that time I'll have to close and go to the house in the dead of the night, which is dangerous. How are they going to come about
exactly?
With those
and for me, yes, I agree that there's some coordination that needs to be done, but I don't think we need a full authority to do some of these things. So for those who've been calling me, yes, this was this basically what the debate is about. The majority believes that there need to be an authority, as Leo mentioned to us, to do certain what they call about integration and sustainable transformation of national system for economic growth, to ensure that the supply chain systems are built and all that. The minority led by Kojo Peng wants to believe that no, it's unnecessary. Let's already use established processes to go through that. He said the example in London where only the commission was created some 6 years ago. He believes that is not needed now, and that there need to be the fluidity of things that is happening. But this has been the debate. I don't know what you stand on the debate.
But do we have any African country that is implementing a similar thing?
Yes, mostly in East Africa, Tanzania.
I think Kenya too.
In Kenya too.
Or do they have a whole?
I didn't see that. Okay. I didn't see that when I decided. No, but for me, it's not about. I don't think the argument should be about this person doesn't. So, for example, you cannot say that because an example. You cannot say that because somebody doesn't drive, I don't have to buy a car. I don't think that should be the argument. I'm saying that there need to be some coordination. Electricity is there because when you want to accelerate industrialization, you talk about electricity.
Yeah.
When you want people to go into agro processing, it's also electricity. Because when you're adding value, you need machines.
Yeah.
You also talk about tax regime, right? You also are talking about employment. You are talking about security because, as you said, people have been going to work at the dead of the night. They need security, even lightening of their streets and everything. So that's what I'm saying, that there needs to be some coordination of a sort. But I don't think the route is necessarily an authority where goods and services, the location, cost and everything. Rather, let's go through
I think it's far-fetched.
Yeah.
It's far-fetched.
I feel that it will elongate the process, especially when let's not forget that the mandate given to the NDC regime is 4 years.
And we have already done 13
months.
So if it's going to take us another, say, 6 months to establish this.
Why I'm afraid? When the IMF 247 million alleged losses came out, and Sami Jemfi went on news. Remember what he said? He says that they are even yet to operationalize the gold board policy. What they are still running is the PMMC model. So it takes time for these things to be developed. So for me, we don't have 4 years to do that. And the anchor aim of the 24-hour economy, why the NDC got young people to vote for them and why the young people actually voted for them was the provision of jobs and the promise to get them jobs. You cannot delay 13 months for the key anchor program that's supposed to provide jobs and expect the young people to stick with you after 4 years. If this delays further, they lose hope. They become agitated and they'll come after you in the next poll. That is my suggestion. So already, if you have the systems in there, like the Women Development Bank, there's where the Margaret lady is, the former NDC candidate for Sumago, Ghana Enterprise Agency, formerly MBSSI. There's Maslock, where Sticker used to be and all that. These agencies have already a vehicle they use to reach to people. We have LEAP, where people can even be in them, they receive mobile money at every quarter or so. Why don't you go through that model than establishing a women development account in Accra? How does the person in Kwabibrim, my district, enjoy? How does the woman at Oforikrom enjoy? Meanwhile, almost at Oforikrom, there are state-owned banks that they can go and access these facilities, fill the forms, and also, instead of creating a whole new bank already, especially having cognizance of the history of our banks. What is the books of ADB today? What is the books of NIB today? So
talking of, you mentioned Accra, and it says we will improve infrastructure, lightning, and security at entertainment districts such as Osu, Abekan La Paz, East Legon Avenue, and so on. So here it looks like it's going to be another Accra-centric
thing. But we know that most of the agro-processing areas, it's not necessarily Accra. We are talking about the farm plains, we are talking about those, and I don't think we need an authority to accelerate it. I believe they already have ministries, we have chief directors, we have other state agencies that we can be able to just have a single coordinator to coordinate all these activities through a certain joint stakeholdership. That is the view we hold here on the breakdown. What is your view? Go to our YouTube page, LUV99.5. You see the video there. Leave your comment there and you pick it up. My name is Eugene 82. I did this with Leo. On Monday, we come back on your radio, more exciting conversation. Thank you.